What if I told you the deadliest fighter plane of World War II wasn't the Spitfire, wasn't the Mustang, and wasn't even German? In fact, most people have never even heard of it. These are the 5 WW2 fighter planes with the highest kill ratios ever recorded, starting at number 5, the F4U Corsair. And straight away, this thing was a nightmare for Japanese pilots. It had that distinctive bent gull wing, not for style, but to fit one of the biggest, most powerful engines the Americans could build. And the result was brutal. It could outrun, outclimb, and outgun almost everything Japan had in the sky. Japanese pilots even gave it a name. They called it Whistling Death because of the sound it made screaming down in a dive. And that tells you everything. 11 enemy aircraft destroyed for every one Corsair lost. Over 64,000 combat sorties flown across the Pacific. It was so effective the military kept using it in Korea a full decade after World War II ended. Number 4, everyone knows the Spitfire, but I don't think people fully understand just how important this plane was. Summer 1940, Britain is standing alone, Hitler's Luftwaffe has just rolled through France, and now it's turning its full attention to the English Channel. The plan is simple: destroy the RAF, control the skies, and invade. The Spitfire is what stood in the way. Around 5,988 confirmed kills across the war, a kill ratio of roughly 13-1, and it kept getting better every year as new variants rolled out. There's one moment that says everything. Hermann Göring, commander of the Luftwaffe, asked his top ace Adolf Galland what he needed to finally beat the RAF. Galland looked at him and said, "Give me a squadron of Spitfires." Number 3, the Grumman F6F Hellcat, and this is where the numbers start getting ridiculous. 19-1, the Hellcat was built for one purpose. The Americans studied the Japanese Zero, found its weaknesses, and designed a plane to exploit every single one. Tougher armor, more firepower, better performance at high speed, and it worked. 5,223 enemy aircraft destroyed. 75% of all US Navy air-to-air kills in the entire Pacific War came from this one plane. In one engagement near Tarawa, a group of Hellcats downed around 30 Zeros and lost just one of their own. And then came June 19th, 1944, the Great Marianas Turkey Shoot. In a single day, Hellcat pilots tore Japan's carrier air forces apart so badly that Japan never rebuilt them for the rest of the war. Number 2, the Messerschmitt Bf 109, the backbone of the Luftwaffe, and statistically the most lethal fighter ever mass-produced. Nearly 15,000 confirmed kills across the war, more aerial victories than any other fighter in history. Over 100 pilots flying this plane reached at least 200 kills each, but its peak, the number that puts it at number 2 on this list, came on the Eastern Front, Operation Barbarossa, 1941. Bf-1, 09 pilots, over 7,355 Soviet aircraft destroyed in a single campaign while losing just 350 of their own. That's a 21-1 ratio in theater. Eric Hartmann, who flew nothing but the Bf-109 his entire career, ended the war with 352 confirmed kills, a record that has stood for over 80 years. So, 21-1, what beats it? A plane so bad the US military scrapped it, a plane British pilots called a flying coffin, a plane that got destroyed over Malaya and crushed at Midway, the Brewster Buffalo. In 1941, Finland was at war with the Soviet Union, massively outnumbered, massively outgunned, fighting in brutal Arctic conditions, and their air force was flying this stubby, barrel-shaped reject that every other nation had given up on. What happened next makes absolutely no sense. 477 Soviet aircraft destroyed, 19 Buffaloes lost, a kill ratio of 26-1. The Finns called it Taivon Helmi, Pearl of the Skies. They worked out a simple but deadly 4-plane tactic, 2 flying low as bait, 2 above and hidden, ready to dive. The Soviets never cracked it. Pilots like Hans Wind scored dozens of kills in this plane, and something the rest of the world had already thrown away. 26-1. In the worst fighter of the war, in the hands of the right pilots, with the right tactics, it became the most efficient killing machine in World War II aviation history. 5 planes, 5 stories, and honestly, the Brewster Buffalo one still gets me every time. The Corsair, the Spitfire, the Hellcat, the Bf-109, and a little Finnish Buffalo that nobody believed in. Which one surprised you the most?